Have you been asked the what's for dinner question way too many times in your life and you need something easy, kid-friendly? Did I mention easy?
Oh yeah, sign me up.
The easiest, kid-friendly, family-friendly, maybe a little budget-friendly casseroles. This video is all about casseroles. I'm going to have all of the recipes for you and a shopping list for free down in the bloop below, so go down in the description box to check that out if you want to go ahead and print all of these and try them out for your family. So without further ado, let's get cooking. If you have a frozen pack of meatballs in your house, you can probably put together this meatball rice casserole with everything that you already have. You probably won't have to buy much. So we will start with 1.5 cups of raw rice. This is not cooked. I did rinse it. I am using this jar of pasta sauce. The spicy red pepper, can recommend. This is a favorite of mine. So all we're gonna do, this is so easy, you're gonna die. My whole jar of sauce is going in here. This is a 24-ounce jar, 1 can of diced tomatoes, 1.5 cups of chicken broth. So to do that, I just added the 1.5 cups of water to my sauce jar to get the rest of this flavor out of here. In it goes, and now I'll just do the bouillon powder. It's so easy. I like to buy these in bulk from the Sam's Club, Costco, it's all the same. About 2 teaspoons or so of that. This one's optional. I've been trying to get rid of this Italian seasoning, so I'll do a tablespoon of Italian seasoning here. And as far as seasoning for this goes, the chicken bouillon has salt in it. The jarred pasta sauce has salt in it. And the meatballs have salt in it, but the rice does not, and the diced tomatoes do not. So I will be adding about a teaspoon, maybe let's start with half a teaspoon of salt, because we wanna make sure our rice is not bland. And this is gonna go in a 9x13 baking dish. This one's a little bigger than 9x13, but it will be fine. You could also mix this up just in the casserole dish if you don't want to dirty another bowl. Up to you. And we're gonna put our frozen meatballs on top. And depending on the size of your dish, might limit you a little bit. I wrote down on the recipe 30 frozen meatballs, but I might try and do this whole bag because this pan is a little bit bigger. But if you are using a 9x13, 30 of these will be fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the whole thing. That's more than 30. Cover with foil and bake in the 375-degree oven for about 45 minutes. Don't worry, we're gonna add cheese a little bit later. Everyone's ovens is a little bit different, and I don't know if it's because I put more meatballs in here than what is in the recipe, but this is what it looks like after an hour. I needed to go a little bit longer, make sure all my rice was cooked. Here's what the rice looks like. This is totally cooked at this point, but now we're gonna add the piece de resistance, cheese. So it's gonna be a combo of mozzarella and Parmesan. This is Parmesan, obviously, because it says Parmesan. So this is about, I don't know, 1/3 of a cup. And I am eyeballing this, but this is about a cup, maybe a cup and a half of mozzarella, because if a little cheese is good, more cheese is better. After we've topped it with the cheese, it will go back in the oven for 10 more minutes-ish, 5 to 10 or 15 if you're sassy. I like my cheese a little on the dark side, personal, that's a personal choice. You can make your own personal choice. So 5 to 15 minutes, depending on your cheese cookage preference. It's basically just to get it heated and melted back in the oven. This looks pretty good to me, so I am going to dish this up to my 4 very, very hungry men in the house. A little garlic bread on the side and perhaps a Caesar salad, and we are good to go. My family loves enchiladas. Unfortunately, I don't make them very often because it takes such a long time to make the filling. Stuff all the tortillas, lay them out on this casserole pan. So I have a busy mom shortcut, and it kicks it off with frozen chicken taquitos from Walmart. This recipe has 5 ingredients. We're gonna call it Busy Mom Enchiladas. So start by preheating your oven to 400 and then taking an entire can of refried beans, and we're gonna spread it in the bottom of this casserole dish. Also, I lost my can opener, so I went to Walmart and picked this one up. Look how fancy it is. I hate it because these handles are all plastic. like the metal stops here and then this is all plastic, so they're very bendy. This Time and Table, this Time and Table brand, I am very unimpressed with this. So if you have a favorite can opener, let me know down in the comments your favorite can opener, because this one is not it. The entire can goes in the bottom, and you're supposed to spread it out, so it should not look like this. I might use my hands, maybe. I'm convinced hands make the best tools in the kitchen. I think if you want to do vegetarian refried beans and a cheese taquito, you could probably make this vegetarian. Okay, next up, we have our taquitos in an entire layer. Now you're supposed to use a 20 count, but interestingly enough, the 20 count from the Great Value brand was the same weight. It was also 19 ounces as the 16 count. I think it was a different flavor. I think the other ones were just smaller maybe. So just, you know, make a layer of these as best you can. There we go. This is the 16 count and it fit in this 9x13 pretty nicely. Next up is enchilada sauce. This is gonna be 20 to 30 ounces. So I do have 30 ounces in 10-ounce cans like this. And you can use the red enchilada sauce, the green enchilada sauce. Once again, if you have a favorite brand, please let me know down in the comments. I've yet to find a favorite brand in canned enchilada sauce. I think I'm gonna mix red and green because why not? And if you want it to be a little on the dry side, use 20 ounces. And if you like it extra saucy, do 30 ounces. I think 20 ounces is perfect for me, so I'm gonna stop there. We are going to bake this at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. I'll see you then. Now, I would not share a recipe with you unless my kids did not gobble it up. And every single one of these casseroles, my kids gobble them up, including this fake out Busy Mom Enchiladas with the frozen taquitos. Most brilliant hack ever. My kids loved these. The fake out chicken Parmesan casserole, all complete winners. And I'm telling you what, this frozen taquito is gonna be a regular on the rotation. Such a winner. For this chicken and rice casserole, which is a family favorite of mine, I'm gonna give you the recipe for the single. I'm doubling the rice in this pan. This is a like 11 by 16 extra deep pan. This is a very large pan. My family loves this dish, which is crazy because it's so simple and it is one of the most budget-friendly meals you can make. It's chicken and rice. That's it. Like, it's so easy. So I have 2 cups of rice in this pan. That's the double, okay? To which I will add 1 giant diced onion. This rice is not cooked. And I'm gonna show you how you can make this even cheaper by shopping the way that I shop, which I am teaching people in my membership group right now. So if you just order your bone-in chicken thighs from Walmart, this is what you're gonna get. So this package was just a little under 5 pounds for $8.69 in my area. I really recommend bone-in chicken, and dark meat is best because it doesn't dry out. However, if you keep your eyes open, you can do sticker shopping. This is over 5 pounds of chicken leg quarters. So we've got thighs and drumsticks here, which is totally fine, for less than half the price. Now you might be thinking the $5 in savings here, because the other one was about $9, this one's $4. So the $5 in savings, it's only $5. What's the big deal? The big deal is if you do this all the time and you're getting 50% savings in all of your shopping, your grocery bill will collapse. All right, I did end up taking the skin off of the thighs and not off of most of the drumsticks, but you can do whatever you want. You can leave it on, you can take it off, it's whatever. You just wanna make sure that they all kind of fit in here. This gets set to the side as we mix up our sauce using the good old cream of mushroom soup and my favorite Cajun seasoning, Tony's. This is the more spicy version. You don't have to use this one. It's just the one that I have on hand. And I'm doubling it. So I have 2 cans of cream of mushroom. Get a large mixing bowl and or measuring bowl. Something like this will work perfectly. So put in your cream of mushroom, 2 1/3 cup of water, and 2 bouillon cubes or 2 teaspoons. Better than bouillon, or instead of water, you could also use chicken stock. I have this one that I will be finishing up. Ooh, almost gone, so I'll probably use the rest of this. All gone. All right, once all your ingredients are in, grab a whisk and stir it all together until it's kind of soupy. It is now time to pour our soupy mixture all over all of it. Try not to spill on your counter. I'm really good at spilling on my counter. And I do like to just shift the rice and chicken just a little bit to make sure all that liquid is kind of going underneath. Last piece, your Tony's or your favorite Cajun seasoning. Step back with your head or you will pepper spray your face. And sprinkle liberally. Bake at a 375-degree oven for about 45 minutes to 1 hour, or until all of your rice has soaked up all of this liquid. Now, I don't know about you, but casseroles make me mad thirsty. So when I'm really needing to quench my thirst, I like to turn to Element. It's my favorite hydration mix right now. Huge thanks to Element for sponsoring today's video. This morning, my husband and I did a 2.5-hour mountain bike ride. I was slicked with sweat streaming down my face. My entire back felt like I had gone swimming. Element is a zero sugar electrolyte mix with a nice balance of sodium, potassium, and magnesium to prevent muscle cramps and to help out people like me who sweat a lot. We sweat very, very salty. Anyone that lives in a warm climate, or if you're following a keto diet or you're doing bodybuilding, you tend to get cramps and your body has a hard time hanging on to salt, which means you need something like this in your life. Members of my community can receive a free sample pack with any order of Element. You can use the drink mix, you can use the new sparkling beverages, which are legit my new favorite thing. I keep my fridge stocked all the time. To get the free sample pack, use my code. It's drinkelement.com/frugalfitmom. It's the first link down in the blue below. And you can try Element completely risk-free. If you don't like it for whatever reason, they will refund your money. You don't even have to return it. You can just give this away to a friend. I think my favorites have to be the grapefruit, hands down, #1 flavor, but the citrus salt also very delicious. It's drinkelement.com/frugalfitmom. First link below if you want to check them out. And you can do it completely risk-free. Thanks to Element for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to more cooking. For this fake out chicken Parmesan, I'm gonna start with a rotisserie chicken. I had an entire rotisserie chicken, but I am only using half of it for this recipe. All white meat, taken off the bone, thrown into a 9x13 pan. I did not have to grease this, and look at all this extra I have for later. I have this pile of meat over here that I can use for anything, and I am keeping the carcass to make bone broth / chicken stock in my Instant Pot. You could also use canned, you could use chicken you cooked yourself, it doesn't matter. I just find that the rotisserie chicken is such a great deal from Costco, $5, and I only used half of it. So $2.50, to which I will add 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, 1 jar of your favorite pasta sauce or marinara. This is the one I'm using. You don't have to use this kind. You can use whatever kind you prefer. And as soon as your 1 pound of pasta is finished cooking in a pot of water on the stove, that gets dumped in here as well. You can use whatever shape you prefer. I'm using bow ties today. And the best part about chicken Parmesan has got to be that crunchy topping when you fry the chicken. So to recreate that, I have some panko breadcrumbs mixed with a little bit of butter and garlic powder right here. This will get put on top. Okay, here comes the pasta. And this is when you know if you have the right size pan. Oh. Listen, another way you could do this is to mix it all in a bowl first. But personally, I like to tempt fate, which is why I like to do it this way. Now, it wouldn't be chicken Parmesan if we did not have some serious Parmesan cheese and mozzarella in here. So that is what we will add next. I'm really feeling like a bowl is the way to go.
I immediately regret this decision.
I was really trying not to dirty another dish, but I see myself dumping this whole thing out. All right, I did have to dirty 1 more bowl. It's fine. I'm going to do a half a cup of Parmesan cheese right in there and about 1 cup of mozzarella all in there. This is pretty warm, so it will start melting if I don't stir fairly quickly. And then I'll pour this in my casserole dish. I will top it with 1 more cup of mozzarella. You can do more Parmesan if you would like to do that. And on goes our panko breadcrumbs as well. And this will go into a 350 degree oven. For 10 to 15 minutes, we just want the top to get crispy and brown and delicious. No casserole video would be complete without your standard tater tot casserole. Fun story, I never had tater tot casserole in my life until I was 24 years old.
Pauline, give me some of your tots.
Because we had guests coming over and they requested it, so I just tried to make it. Anyway, here we go. Here's the tater tot casserole for you that I didn't have until I was 24. When was the first time you had tater tot casserole? And honestly, you put some tots on top, every kid's gonna love it. We are starting with 1 pound of ground beef, 1 diced onion, cooked up in a skillet with some salt, pepper, and garlic powder to your heart's content. Add that to a baking dish. Next, add 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. Pop Top makes that real easy. 1 can of drained green beans. A tablespoon or 2 of Worcestershire sauce. Oh yeah, I'm just eyeballing that. And give this a mix. And this baking dish might be a little on the big side, so it may not have to cook as long. This is not a 9 by 13. My instructions are for a 9 by 13, but if you're in a 9 by 13, it will work perfectly. I'll just have like a thinner layer, but it's fine. Next up, cheese, because what is life without cheese?
A miserable life.
I'm gonna do 2 cups of your favorite cheddar, cheddar jack, whatever mix of cheese. You can shred it yourself if you want, don't have to. And this one doesn't have a notch to open it. Pro tip, use scissors instead of a knife to cut open a bag like this. Why? So you don't cut the end of your finger off. That was how my finger injury occurred back in January. Do not recommend. Let's go a solid 2 cups of cheese here. I have a 2 pound bag of the Great Value tater tots. Top it with as many as you like.
Are you gonna eat your tots?
I'm doing the whole bag. You don't have to do the whole bag, but I'm doing the whole bag. Because I feel like this pan's just so big, it makes sense. It just makes sense. All you have to do next is pop this into a 375 degree oven and bake it for 35 to 40 minutes, depending on your oven, not covered until the tater tots are done and crispy. They are still frozen right now, by the way. So into the oven it goes. I'll see you soon. 35-minute check-in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. Mmm, yum, yum, yum. For me personally, I could have used more tots because there's no such thing as too many tots. And it's really hot. Oh no. Would you call this a lowbrow meal? Don't care. It's delicious. Everyone loves it. That's the truth. Remember, if you want the recipes, I do have those for free down below. And the total cost for all of these casseroles to feed a family, like a family of 4 to 6, is this total right here. That's pretty good from a budget standpoint. I bought all my ingredients from Walmart. Check the description box for that deal from Element and also for the free recipes. So you can go make these too if you would like. Highly recommend the tater tot casserole or just a bag of tater tots. That's also fine. That's also fine. And that's the end of the video. That was the end. That's the end.
Goodbye, everyone.